Hi, I'm Emily, and I just kind of want to talk about some things I've been learning in regards to fear and anxiety. Two things I struggle with a lot. And recently I heard a really good radio broadcast about the topic where the speaker was talking about the 4 top relational fears, which are being abandoned, being rejected, failing, and then emotional death. Just means everything crashing down on you and resulting in despair. And anyway, he touched on how they can manifest themselves and how they can affect us and those around us, and then how we can manage them in a positive and healthy way. So some of the things he said I really appreciated are some things I've been learning, and here's what he said. He said, fear causes us to control. We will either control others or control ourselves. When we're afraid, we just kind of try and grab on. We try and grab on to something we know is secure, stable, hopefully not going to let us down. And in that fear, the core of what we're afraid of is our needs not being met, which might be like maybe we're not going to be loved, maybe we're afraid of being alone, maybe we're afraid of someone betraying us, things like that. So that kind of is what triggers our fear. And something the speaker said, which I thought was interesting, is sometimes when we focus intently on what we're afraid of, it can actually precipitate an ongoing trauma in our lives if we don't learn how to manage it in a healthy way. Which is actually my next point, and that is the challenge then is to shift our focus from to managing it rather than making it an idol. We want to, minimize the fear and see it for what it really is, and not be controlled by it. I thought it was interesting how the speaker said that fear is what happens in the mind on an intellectual level. Fear is what I'm afraid of, whereas anxiety happens in our bodies. It's our response or my response to what I'm afraid of. So anxiety is what my body feels and experiences as a result of the fear, which happens in my mind. So managing fear then involves becoming aware of ourselves, of what we're feeling, but more importantly, what we're thinking. We need to become aware of what is true and realize we have the option to choose to think, to respond differently. Then we need to remember and believe how God sees things and how He cares for us and act in light of that. I thought it was cool. The speaker said, the greater my ability to process, manage, and move forward, the more present I can be with or to others. How I manage and handle life essentially has a direct impact on my psyche and my health. So the challenge then is to learn to think in a positive way and to have a healthy self-respect. And then also love and respect are the antidotes to fear. So it really boils down to a decision, a choice. Okay, am I going to let this fear control me, or am I going to switch over to God and truth and what is bigger than my fear and let that take over and release me from its grip? So these things cannot be done alone. We need the power of God to help us. but He is definitely there, willing and loves to deliver His children from fear. He doesn't want us to be afraid. He wants us to see Him as the great and powerful God, kind and loving God that He is, and to just allow Him to dissolve the fears in our hearts and minds so that we can be free. And that opens us up to be greater channels of blessing to others. So it's really cool. Thanks.